we're fixing to get started. You ready, huh? Okay, the hours arrived, folks, to begin our meeting. I'm going to ask Mr. Griffin again, if you will, to give the invocation.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for the past rain you've sent us, Lord. Continue to look after us, watch over us now in this meeting, help us to make wise decisions. All these things we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Let's stand in pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gentlemen, you've got the agenda before you. Is there any modifications, amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, I entertain a motion. We approve the agenda.
I'll motion to approve.
Mr. Johnson made a motion. Do we approve the agenda as recorded?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Bloodworth. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an agenda. Okay, several of us were asking questions about the date of these minutes. You have to bear with us. We're trying to catch up. So we have before you the March minutes of the call meeting and the work session. Entertain a motion that we approve them.
I'll motion to approve.
Mr. Dwayne Johnson has made a motion that we approve the March minutes for the work session and regular council. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Bloodworth. Any discussion?
Could you hold on just a second? I made a note on one of them. If I can find it. I can find it in about 30 seconds. I'll tell you what's going on. Refresh my memory about the, what we decided to charge the city. The Board of Education for picking up their trash. I see where it was, I know that they approved it, but I don't remember us setting a charge. Is that what we said, $72?
Lori,
Remember?
it's the same thing for them it did for everybody else.
That's the same thing?
Same thing as everybody else. It
That's
just
the only
depends
question I have.
depends upon the frequency of the pickups is the only change in
Okay.
depending upon the frequency.
That's the only question I have.
Okay, with that question answered, entertain any other questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor of approving those minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Ms. Bernice, you got that much taken care of. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're real happy to have a special guest with us. We had mentioned this last week in our work session that we wanted to recognize. We've got two of our athletic teams with state championships, and one was able to come tonight and the other was not, so we'll have to get them at another time. But tonight, we're real delighted to have Will Wood here, who's the coach of the ladies track and field team. Coach Wood, come forward for us, if you will. We're real proud of you and what you've done, and we've got a proclamation we'd like to give you here. Proclamation by the mayor and council to Jeff Davis High School Ladies Jackets GHSA AA State Track and Field Champions of 2017. It says, whereas the Jeff Davis High School Lady Jackets Track and Field team is coached by Jeff Davis native Will Wood. Coach Wood has been the head coach for the team for 10 years and has been a track coach for 13 years. And whereas Coach Will Wood has been awarded the prestigious title GHSA AA Coach of the Year. Congratulations. And whereas Coach Wood, along with assistants, coaches Meg Wood, Chris Davis, and Greg Nail, led the Lady Jackets to first ever GHSA AA State Championship for Jeff Davis County High School. Congratulations. And whereas the Lady Jackets demonstrated athletic excellence and received the most points ever by Jeff Davis County in the state meet. And whereas the Lady Jackets, Morgan Carlock received state championship honors in the high jump. Is that correct? And whereas Lady Jacket Tristan Herndon received state championship honors in discus. Okay, whereas we would like to recognize the team as a whole by listing the young ladies by name. And on this proclamation, We've listed all of the ladies and their year of their school, and I won't go through the process of listing all of them. They're all named, the entire team. Therefore, our Arvane Stone Mayor of the City of Hazlehurst do hereby proclaim this day, Thursday, July the 15th, as Lady Jacket Day. This day has been set aside to recognize the success of the team as a whole and the dedication of these athletes to better themselves by working extra hard, rigorous training, and facing numerous challenges and overcoming them all by becoming state champions. It is therefore I have set my hand and seal this day of the City of Hazlehurst and affixed it here too. And it's also signed by every member of the council. I want to congratulate you, Coach, and your team, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Sorry I couldn't get anybody here tonight. You know, summertime is kind of a little crazy to track everybody down with vacations and people working and that kind of stuff. It was hard to get anybody here. So, but I appreciate y'all having me tonight.
Well, we're real proud of you.
Thank you.
I would like to just add a comment. I'm the only one probably in the room other than Will that went to the state track meet. And I've enjoyed watching these young ladies, and Morgan Carlock, who you mentioned, I have a special interest for her. She works for me on every Wednesday, and plus she's my half-great niece-in-law. She won the high jump not only this year, but she won as a sophomore, junior, and she's second as a freshman, so she's got quite a record behind her. But anyway, thank you. Will does a wonderful job.
That's great to hear.
I appreciate what he's done.
For a local man to be here doing this and to be at home, I think that's wonderful, Will. We're very proud of you. And that we could ever help you in any way, and when you're struggling trying to get all this work done, we know that it takes a lot of effort. So congratulations again.
Congratulations,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. We've got another special guest tonight. Miss Brenda Reynolds, but if you'll come and operate from up there, we can hear you better.
I don't think she's going to be quite as.
I hate to tell you,
I know what's going on.
I'm not really pleasant.
It's our own fault.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll start by saying that, the insurance has increased this year. And I got several quotes. The closest quote, to this one was about $45,000 higher. So we were able to secure this with the same company. Old Republic is where our airport liability is. One Beacon is where the package is, and we have, with CNA, we have our bonds. Workman's Comp is with Key Risk. And if you'll look, after the Key Risk, the risk control, I'll get to the renewal quotes. This year, the Workman's Comp is going to run us $92,792. Last year, it was $80,069. The airport liability stayed the same, and the bonds stayed the same, but the package, which includes all the other coverages, the general liability, the law enforcement liability, the public officials, the automobiles, the property, that sort of thing, is $106,221 this year. Last year, it was $80,666. Now, I've got a breakdown on the how much money you're going to have to come up with this for a down payment and such. But I do want to preface this by saying I can't get into, not out in the open, I can't get into specific claims because we have the people's personal information and such that I can't, with employees and stuff, so I can't voice that. But if you have any claims or anything like that, I'll discuss it individually with you at any time. The we've had numerous changes to the policy. Bernice did something that I've been trying to get done for the last 10 years, and that is, she sent out the, list of vehicles, list of properties, list of inland marine to all the department heads, and they corrected a lot of the information that was not correct. We had, on the property section, we had close to, well, about $1.75 million of more property values than we had last year. And that's because a lot of the things, Land did a wonderful job of this for us and the other department heads also. But we had way stations and such things that had been torn down and actually been replaced, and we didn't have the correct values and stuff there. So he got those corrected for us, and the general liability and did not go up that much. But the automobile liability did. We've had numerous claims on the automobile side, and so that impacted that greatly. But if you have any other questions about this, I'll be glad to answer. Now, our work comp premium did go up. That on the workers' comp, is based upon payroll, of course, and we're audited on that each year. And our payroll did go up a little bit, but what affected us the most is we went from an experience mod of 1.07 to an experience mod of 1.55. And that is set by the National Work Comp Board, and that's due to the losses and stuff. That means that our work comp premium, last year we were debited 7%, this year we were debited 55%. And as the claims go up, that keeps going up. One thing I did want to mention to you is they have offered, One Beacon has offered to us a risk control proposal. Their first premium that they came back told me that they would charge us would be $12,000. I got them down to $9,000. But for an extra $9,000 on top of everything else that we're doing, they will come in and do risk control for every department. Meaning they will get the work comp in line, they'll get they'll do classes and that sort of thing on automobiles and all that. I've offered to do this also without, of course I wouldn't have charged there, but we've got to do something to get these losses in line. And so they're just offering, and on renewals, this looks really good when we've done what we've told them we're gonna do and try to work out the loss control. Do you have any questions?
I have two.
Okay?
I expected, I was just surprised on workman's comp, but street cleaning was so high as compared to all the rest of them.
The street, that actually, on workers' comp, that actually was lumped in with the garbage.
Well, I noticed we had a line item for garbage.
Right, we did. But I'm talking about that the company lumped them together. And then they came back and said, okay, this is what the division is on it. But it's because we have more employees and such there.
Oh, okay.
It's based on the
Okay.
number of employees and such.
And the second thing, somebody asked here in one meeting if they thought that our periodic safety meeting was doing any good, and I told them that I thought that we were required, our insurance company. Would you explain that?
Yes, we do. This is one of the parts of the loss control that I had already put into place for us, which helped us on the renewal, because you wouldn't believe what the first price of this renewal came back. And so it really helped, and I had to document, and the mayor saw us up here doing a bunch of work with it, going through the different departments and such, and looking at different things to try to do everything we could to help with loss control and prove to the company that we were doing this.
Okay.
And so that's what we've got to do. But I would like to, be invited to one of these meetings so that I can talk to the employees about the importance of their due diligence, you know.
Cody, give her the date of our next meeting right now. It's, we
All
reached
I know is 30th.
30th?
June 30th.
Yeah, it's coming
And
up.
that's the one that the council's going to.
That's correct.
Yeah, we had set up, I'd asked for the last one.
That's not gonna be like the quarterly meeting. I think she probably needs to come to the quarterly meeting that we may have after this meeting with the council, the safety committee will.
I don't know, that's gonna be the safety committee and us?
That's correct.
Okay, we need to, the next time we have another one of the breakfast
Right.
things and have all the employees, that's when she wants to come in.
I
That's
thought
correct.
that we were going to go to a meeting when all the employees are going in there. We're just going to the safety committee. I think we'd like, personally, I'd like going all the,
That's what I thought, that
Okay.
everybody would be involved.
that's what I'd like to do.
Do we need to?
And make sure
we need to
that
get back
they
together on
understand that
then.
we're serious about it.
Yeah, we need to get back together on that then.
Yeah, because that's the meeting that I need to be at,
Right.
where all the employees are, because we've got to stress to them, just simple things like checking road signs and, you know, different things like that, that if you see something, you know, you need to speak up, you know, it's part, the city's, the employees is part of the city.
Right.
And we need them working, you know, with us.
Okay,
on some
if you would,
stuff.
get back with your committee and let's cancel that date that y'all came to me with and let's y'all get a new date and we'll do like we normally do, meet over in the,
Okay.
police department courtroom, meeting room over there and provide sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches and all like we normally do.
Now, is that okay with everybody? That's what I'd like to do. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think Douglas already said that.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Reschedule and let us know when it is.
Okay.
All right, okay. All right, y'all got any questions for Ms. Brenda?
Can we just write you a check? No.
Please just go ahead and write it. You can write it for the total
Can't
amount.
hold it.
You can write it for the total amount. Oh, we just have to have it by July the 1st, so that's all.
That's a Saturday.
Okay, if y'all don't have any questions, thank you, Ms. Brenda. I think we've all pretty well looked at this. We appreciate your hard work. In fact, to be honest with you, we were pleased that you got it all done and within the confines of the amounts that you've done, so we appreciate it. Any questions to Ms. Brenda while she's here? All right, we'll move on.
Are you gonna have to take a vote to approve it, or?
You got to vote on this.
Or we'll go to,
Well,
okay.
you've got July 1st deadline coming up, and this is our council meeting.
All right. Okay, well, look, she just gave you the total figures, but now we've also got, that the amount of the increase is about 40,000 a year. What I had.
38 something.
38,
But there's a potential for that to come down the following year, right?
Yes, but there's a potential for it to go up too. We don't.
Ms. Green, excuse me just a moment. If you will please explain to them how many years these incidents stay on our record
Okay.
before there's a potential for a decrease.
Right. Like an automobile claim or a property claim, stay on for 3 years. That's after the claim's closed now. We have, you know, some other claims that are dragging out for a long period of time. Now, that still counts until the claim's closed. So, you know, we have some suits and stuff like that that's going on right now, and we won't have that'll still be counting against us, because they have a reserve up there for those large amounts.
I understand.
Let me ask something, since Bernice brought that up, and again, I know you don't want to mention specifics, but can I mention locations for accidents?
Yes, you can.
Okay, well, I
But
just
just so long as you
didn't
don't
know
have any names
the
or
accident
anything.
on Jefferson and Bell Street. How long is that, of the 3 years has that been?
They just paid it out last year.
So we just started.
We just starting on
And
that.
the one on Coffee Street.
It's not settled. And it won't be settled. It won't be settled for a while, because
Okay.
my understanding is.
So that's going to hit us later.
Right. I mean, it's already hitting you now. because there's reserves amounts out there. There's already, large amounts already been paid, but there's reserves amounts sitting out there too, because she's due to, one of the people is due to another, surgery soon.
But we could potentially get even more of a hit.
Oh.
Because of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any other further questions? Hearing none, then I entertain a motion that we approve the request of Ms. Brenda for an annual premium of $203,054 for the coming year. I entertain a motion for that amount. Mr. Johnson made the motion that we approve the bid of Ms. Reynolds for $203,000. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Griffin. Any further discussion about the insurance?
Your in-service with us, would that help the city at all?
Yes.
That would help that to come down?
Well, not
Not
right
this,
now,
but
but on
it would.
renewals and stuff, it will, it will.
We can set it up where you can actually come in with the department head or the city and do annual in-service with them.
Right, I would like to do it more frequently than that.
All right.
Maybe even quarterly, once a quarter, or at least semi-annual.
Okay, any further questions or discussions? All right, hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Brenda, you've got a contract for another year's insurance.
Thank you, sir.
Now, just pray that you get your money. Okay, all right, we've got that. Let's move on. You'll have the contract we have with the work detail that comes in here. What is it, Jeff? How about talking to us a little bit?
It's supposed to be 4 days a week. And the contract says 10 hours a day, but it's not like that. They get here sometimes at 8 o'clock, and they'll leave sometime anywhere between 2 and 2:30. And they'll take a lunch break.
And what is the number that's normally here?
Here recently, we've had 8, 9.
That's good. That's better than we've been at. Yeah.
Well, I noticed that in the contract that there was a set figure, $79,000. Right? Am I right about that?
That's for
That's for
two
two
details.
details.
We only get one detail.
And that was, so that was half of that, 30?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that's what we did.
But I thought that there were times that you had difficulty getting them.
Well, they've got their own holidays, and if the guard's out, they won't send
But
one
we're
in his
staying that
place.
same amount, paying that same amount whether they come or not? Is that what you're, well, that's,
And we'll pay the same amount.
From what he's telling me now, it looks like the number of guards, prisoners, and we have just one guard, the number of prisoners is a little improved. But now, there was a while, there would be 4 or 5 at the time, and if it's cloudy in Alma, it doesn't have to be cloudy here, and they don't show up.
If it's raining over there,
There was a period of time I was questioning the efficiency of our contract as far as what we were getting out of it. Anybody else got anything? Jeff, you got anything else to say about it? I don't think we're ready to discontinue it.
Has anybody contacted the superintendent?
Natasha just pointed out to me if there were days that the didn't come, they reduced it by X amount. Is anybody keeping up with that?
I'm not.
We
I
need
don't-
we've got a roster where they sign in when they get here and sign out, and they leave, and total inmates they bring with them.
So at the end of the year, you've got a computation of the whole, I just
Yeah.
like us to review.
I'll tell you what we need to,
I bet that-
I think we need to institute a system with Jeff down there, and a daily log, and at the end of the month, you turn it up here, let us submit.
That's good.
That's what I've been giving Miss Bernice.
Or is he
Okay.
sending you a log to that extent? Or are you sending it to Alma?
Now, they've got their own over there.
They're wrong.
Yeah, we won't see what theirs looks like compared to ours. How can we do that? We'll get in touch with Alma and find out. But you are sending a end of the month log,
Yes.
and you're getting it. Okay?
Okay, good.
Then what we need to do is compare it with theirs, and then we've got something to compare it with. We'll work on that. Somebody make us a note and jog our memory.
Okay, now, in reference to this, I'm not sure if y'all gonna need to have a call meeting, but this contract has to be signed and back to them by July 1st.
Oh, we got approved.
Yep,
Got
you have to
approved?
be client, you have to be approved and signed.
Well, I don't think we want to discontinue it now because we do get.
agree.
we do
But I-
get a lot of good-
I agree.
I don't think we want to discontinue it, so here, I entertain a motion.
I'm just saying, let's monitor it.
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
I agree, we should have been monitoring all along.
Commissioner Bloodworth was making a statement while
I'm sorry.
everyone was talking.
I was just saying, that somebody needs to contact the superintendent, tell him you're not getting any bang for your buck.
Well, we were about to do that, and I think maybe it's beginning to improve some.
They
Jeff and I
know
both,
They know we was fixing to do something, so they beefed up the deal.
well, Jeff and I both were beginning to get a little aggravated about it, but we don't want to discontinue it now.
A
We
lot
want
of
to
work needs to be done around the city.
You and I just looked at some, if you remember. Okay, gentlemen, I entertain a motion to, for y'all to authorize me to sign this contract, and let me get the, has it got a total amount anywhere?
$39,500.
Is it right on the front page?
Second page. Bottom of the second.
Thank you. Okay, it's one, yeah, all right. I entertain a motion that y'all authorize me to sign this contract on behalf of the city of Hazlehurst.
Make the motion that,
Mr. Bloodworth makes a motion that I be authorized to sign. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Johnson. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I will sign the contract. And we will monitor this work detail.
39.5.
Okay, thank you, we got that done. They'll have that by the first, where are we now? Number 6. Okay, if you will look, I'm sorry about all the confusion last week relative to the budget, but I want you to pick up your blue sheet that, and let's look at it just briefly a minute. The blue sheet. This is water and sewer. Bland has put his budget together, and all this is a brief synopsis from what he gave you. Yeah, okay. The Bland is put his budget together real well. He's expecting $1,553,000 in revenue, and he's got his expenses worked out. The hourly increases of his hourly employees is $9,609. The salaried employees increase will be $1,699, giving you a total increase in this budget of $11,305. The insurance portion, and has this been modified to 12, or is this 12 correct now? Increase, I'm talking about the increase. The increase is correct. So, but anyway, what it amounts to is with the salary increases and the insurance, he had $84,000 going into capital reserve. And he's going to deduct this, how much is that, Blaine, that you're going to deduct from that?
And we got through, it came all the way down to 52,000.
So the capital reserve fund will be reduced from 84 to 52,000. Other than that, his budget remains the same. Now then, let's go then, if we go back, you can ask some questions later. Let's go to the yellow sheet. The yellow sheet, the top is, there's no wage increases in this. The revenue for the coming year is $3,391,041. The expenses is $3,340,340. But if you'll notice, with no increases, with no insurance increases, labor increases, the projected revenue for next year in expenses, we plus $10,000. Now, a lot of that is responsible for the tremendous amount of increase we've had on garbage and trash. So if we left everything like we're operating now, next year's budget would be a little bit, we'd be on the plus side of $10,000. If we put forth the hourly increases that the various departments have put in, that will increase the budget by $59,791. If we put forth the salary increases at 3%, will be $12,789. The balance of that $40,000 insurance increase is charged to general, which is $28,000, gives us on on top of what we've got up there, revenue expenses, where we got 10,000, we wind up with $89,879 in the hole. And one meal will get that close enough that I'm recommending as mayor, a 1 mil increase in taxes for the coming year. And that will put us with a balanced budget, and that will take care of the hourly employees' raises and the salary of the employees' raises, and the increase in our insurance premium. And 1 meal will put us with a balanced budget. Any questions? Now, if you'll notice on the bottom of your agenda, in red, it's your agenda, and it's in red, there's 4 lines down there. June the 19th, the call meeting to formally present the budget. June the 29th, the public hearing. June the 30th, the call meeting to amend this present budget. I had a conversation with Ms. Tammy today, and she's anticipating somewhere a little 150,000 or more. We've got to amend the 16-17 budget to keep us from having a write-up in our audit, findings in our audit, and we're to adjust that on the 30th, if you'll notice there. What time? I think we even got the time for it, haven't we?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock that evening on June the 30th.
And that is on a Friday.
And then a call meeting on July the 7th for us to have it all finalized, everybody and approve the budget in its final form. So there's the itinerary for handling the budget. Any questions? Hearing none, let's move on to the next item. I told you that a meal number 7, I told you the 1 meal will be within just a few dollars of balancing this budget, and that's what we need to do. Number 8, how we gonna handle this? We've hashed it around a good bit. Jeff, what do you? I don't need to put this on you.
I thought we were gonna look at the roundabout for Stan.
And we can give Tommy, do you have a chance?
No, I didn't.
You want Ken to handle that, Tom?
Ken, no, Ken, why don't you and I go talk to him tomorrow? That'd be all right? I've already talked to him.
Talking about Dr. Stan Rentz.
Yeah. Let's just go and put our heads together. Just, well, I'll get with you later, tomorrow morning, we'll decide how to talk with Stan.
For the benefit of those that may not be familiar with it, according to what we're told, the school board can probably get some grant money because of the safety issue of handling this traffic that we as a city cannot get. And that we can get with Dr. Stan Rentz, our school superintendent, and his staff, together with police chief and Councilman Purser, and work out an arrangement to get some grants to do these, what do you call them, roundabouts? Okay, we're gonna leave that working in with no.
The reason I decided on the school system has grant writers, and we don't. I mean, they have people that they write grants all the time, so they can do it a lot easier than us.
So we're gonna leave 8 and 9s in the hands of.
Are we gonna change 8 to, Charles Rogers and Jefferson instead of
That's correct.
Bell Street and Jefferson? That's what we had talked about.
That's for y'all to decide and come back.
No, excuse me. We did not talk about that. We talked about putting a 4-way stop there.
Right.
We talked about Collins Street and Pat Dixon with another roundabout.
And also, Charles Rogers and Pat Dixon.
Pat Dixon, that's right.
Two
roundabouts and a 4-way stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, another thing, let me tell y'all, Jeff has already secured 90% of the, correct me if I'm wrong, 90% of the materials, flashing lights, signs, and everything for the 4-way stop at Jefferson and Bell.
Right.
We've got very
Still
little.
have to get 2 more lights.
But we've got most of everything there for that. It's just a matter of y'all telling him when to do it and when to do it.
Right.
By the way, I went to Springfield today, and they've got a new four-way stop that they put up in not Collins, Belleville.
Yeah,
Don't know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think it's very easy to see.
it is.
I mean, they've got it where, I mean, you know, we were worried about people coming in and not seeing it and everything. The way they've got it set up, it is
Yeah, it took.
very easy to see.
That's a four-way now.
Yeah.
There was-
Yes, four-way.
You know, that's where they had a tremendously bad wreck, Fraser Oil Company did, that one of his trucks collided there.
Trammell Wood was driving that truck.
That's right, Trammell was driving that truck. Well, I would say, I wouldn't at all be hesitant to, no further than that is, Jeff, to right over there, carry your camera and take some pictures and really get that down pat, and look at what he's saying. Probably that might be
What about-
beneficial.
What about the specifications the state gives for that over there?
Well, let's try to follow them as much as we can. I mean, we call on their expertise. I don't think we'll probably find anything wrong. But if you can look and see any modifications that might help, particularly with us having that curve where we're coming into. Now, they've got a little curve coming from, the other town there, what's it, Hogan, Hagen there. But, I wouldn't mind you right over and looking at that. Okay. Let's approve, Ms. Bernice is going for the elections training in Warner Robins on July the 11th and 12th. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
Make a motion.
Mr. Griffin made a motion to approve Ms. Lopez training in Warner Robins on July the 11th and 12th. Is there a second?
Yes.
Seconded by Mr. Johnson. Any further discussion?
Yeah, that's an elections training. I was talking to Kathy Yon today, and she said she was going to Warner Robins. Said you were going too, but she ain't going to election, is she?
I've not spoken.
Maybe they're doing two of them. Maybe they're doing two trainings. That's tax assessors. They may be doing both of them in the same place. Okay, I'm sorry.
Any further discussion about Ms. Lopez training on July the 11th and 12th? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Lopez is approved. All right, you've got the water and sewer, water, sewer, trash report in there. That's a good report. I hope you've looked at it. That's a tremendous, that's gonna make a lot of difference. In fact, that's one reason, if you look at the, going back to talking the budget, if you look at the, general fund revenue anticipation for coming year, without those figures, we'd be in a heck of a mess. It'd certainly take a lot more than a meal to balance the budget. Okay, that's just a report you look at. Water and sewer adjustments, what are they, $600 and something? $680, something like that. Entertain a motion that we approve those two reports, 11 and 12.
Make a motion.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, you look at the check register. Any questions relative to any of the bills? Hearing none, let's move on. The zoning board chairman, Mr. Bobby Googe, and this group have recommended Mr. Clyde McCall to replace Mr. Roy Simmons. His death was recently, and they've recommended that we appoint Clyde McCall to the zoning board. I entertain a motion that we approve Mr. McCall to the zoning board. Mr. Johnson made the motion that we appoint Mr. McCall. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Bloodworth. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor of appointing Mr. Clyde McCall to the zoning board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, he is appointed. Mr. Johnson, is this part of your family that's asking for this street closing?
Well, church family.
Church family.
I know them.
Okay. All right, we've discussed this real thoroughly last week. On July the 15th, what is it, a family reunion?
Yes.
They want to close just a portion of that street over there, and we're going to ask Chief Williams to help us with that. You've got the traffic cones and things that you can put out to help us with that. I entertain a motion. I entertain a motion to approve the street closing.
Motion.
Mr. Johnson made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Bloodworth. Any discussion relative to this closing?
I think that, main place is there in front of, Happy Land because of the building in the street and, children running back and forth. And I think that, Jeff is taking care of some of that.
Okay.
But we definitely, with the kind of people they're expecting, need the officers to go up and keep patrol.
Okay, thank you. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You've got it taken care of, Mr. Constable. It will be handled, and Chief Williams will be glad to help you see that it's done. We're now down to citizens' comments.
I'd like to say one thing, Mayor. I just want to let everybody know that, in continued efforts with City of Hazelhurst Police Department and the Sheriff's Office, I got called out last night about 1:45 a.m. About 1:30 last night, this morning, a black male entered the Flash Foods Crystals and held the clerk at knife point and robbed the store. Quick response, everybody working together. Less than 3 hours, we had the guy in jail. So,
Awesome.
I
Good
just-
job.
Just want to put that out.
Good, we appreciate that report, but we don't always get those things, you know. Let me ask you this, was your tracking dog beneficial in that?
No, we didn't, we didn't utilize a tracking
The dog and all, you used the cameras and what you had?
Used the camera footage that the store had and
And
then,
then, and it hustled and went to work. Well,
and citizen input also helped us out a lot.
Well, I'm glad to hear that report. I'm sure the council has any further remarks about this event?
Good job.
Okay. All right, any other citizens? You folks, any other remarks? Speak
I
now.
gotta say one thing, Mayor, on the work detail, I checked into it on the county side one time, and that fee that y'all pay, the 39.5,
Yeah.
that is supposed to be the guard's salary. Something that might help you is to see what he got paid last year, see how much time he was off of work. Or he may be salary, I don't know. I
Okay.
thought I'd throw that out there.
If we look into it, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Any other comments from the citizenry?
I was just curious if, we were aware that one of those prisoners had family here in town. Has anybody contacted us for that?
Did you know that, Ken?
Right?
You know the two that escaped and killed the two guards?
Right.
One of those has a sister living in Hazelhurst.
I didn't know.
So do you know the sister?
No, they did not give her name.
Okay, but anyway, since that's the place for sisters, might be something you might be interested in.
Very, very,
Said it was in the Macon Telegraph today, that there was a sister here in Hazelhurst. Nobody, I was wondering if anybody contacted.
See, this first he's heard of it.
Yeah.
All right, any other citizen comments? Let's move along, okay? If we can get these two down here to my left, hey, we might can proceed. I'm glad they're having fun.
We're learning to work together.
Well, that's-
Building blocks.
Okay, we're down to item 17, mayor and commissioner comments.
Well, I wasn't gonna mention this, but I did tell you, I talked to Kathy on today, and I was curious, they did some revaluation of city residential property across the state, and across the county, and I was interested in how that was gonna affect how much money a mill generated, and she said that the deadline for appealing is June the 19th. So by June the 20th, she said that she would send me exactly how much a mill increase, probably gonna go up 10–20%, right? This year was like $67,000 per mill, and it's probably gonna be up about $80,000.
That's when I got the same figures from, probably. But here again, we don't really know. You got something for me? Oh, yeah. Is it on cruise, baby? on the agenda?
Mayor, Mayor and Commissioners'
Huh?
comments, that's where you wanted it.
Oh, any comments? I was gonna put it in your, thank you. Has everybody got this, INL sheet with a bunch of red figures on the right? This is a service agreement, that we have with, International, Interstate National Lease, INL. And this is a list of the vehicles or pieces of equipment and the cost monthly charge for servicing that piece of equipment. Then, and that's a monthly charge, and if you take 12 months times that particular figure, the red indicates the difference between what's being budgeted and what it's costing. This old figure saying we're gonna spend $500 for tires on the backhoe, when it's costing $149 a month for Interstate National Lease to service the thing times 12, we're $1,288 deficit there. Plus, we've run this thing down, Jeff and I and Eric and Lori and Ms. Lopez, we've all been looking at this thing, and we were under the impression that this monthly service charge included oil filters, maybe everything except air filters. But as we began to look at these invoices, Eric, won't tell them what you found.
It was Jeff.
It was Jeff.
Jeff, well, all I can, you can tell them about it.
They're charging us for the oil filters and the oil, basically any materials used, there's shop supplies.
When they get through servicing the piece of equipment, we've got a lot of extra expense on top of this monthly thing. And they asked me, they've come in and got a list of new add-ons, and they've asked me to call me 2 or 3 times to sign it, and I told them we were meeting tonight. But after we found all this discrepancy, I've decided, with me and Eric and Jeff got together, we're not gonna do anything. You'll just have to wait till we can get together and hash out the discrepancies that we're having with this contract. So we've got some discrepancies with the Interstate National Lease in their bidding things that need some scrutiny, and we'll get on top of that, and we're not gonna sign anything until we get satisfied with it, or I get it to y'all and y'all are satisfied with it.
When we signed that, or agreed to that contract, I thought it included
All
Isn't that what you
filters,
thought?
it included all and filters.
No, I-
And Jeff, I don't think it did include air filters, but it did include oil
I
and
agree.
filters, grease, and anything being done to it. The only thing that we were supposed to be charged labor for was if they were doing repairs,
That's right.
extra repairs on them.
That's right.
And that's really the only thing extra they're supposed to be charged if they did extra repairs. But like I said, I know we signed it originally and everything else because we just took and, when we renegotiated it for another year, it was for the same exact contract. Yes, the price increased somewhat, but then it does after 2 years. We understood that.
You look at those red figures, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what we agreed to.
Lori told me right before we came in here, these figures that are in the red,
Mary,
this is the negative balance that these pieces of equipment are starting out in, beginning July 1st.
Lori actually had a great idea to change that too.
what was that?
To allow get 3 locals to bid
Absolutely.
on, doing the servicing and.
Let me stop you a minute now. Let me stop you. The man that Interstate National Lease has, working with Jeff and Bland and others on this equipment, is a very good mechanic. He's amazed me. I didn't think anybody around here could touch anything in the electronic field like James Lewis. James Lewis and I worked together for 10 years, and I know him. But I thought James Lewis was the master, and I still do. But now, this man that's servicing our equipment is very good. He's diagnosed some electrical problems in and around these harnesses of all these dumps and street sweepers and mess. So I want to compliment the man that's coming to this equipment. He is a good mechanic.
He does fine, a real good
Right,
job.
so before we get too hasty now, I want us to try to get with these folks and see what's going on, because let me tell you something. We've got some good equipment. The city of Hazlehurst owns some fine pieces of equipment. and their life and their good operation depends upon the service. So for goodness sakes, let's don't let be a pound wise and a penny foolish, or whatever the term is. Let's wait before we get in too big a hurry now, because good service is very, very important.
I'm not in any hurry, but I'm just, but
Well,
it doesn't sound like the problems with the mechanic
It's
comes
not.
down here, it's the home office of the building.
I think that's right.
what needs to be
Yeah,
dealt.
so let us hash that out, and because the man that's doing the work is, I'm very pleased with him, he's a good mechanic. So let's me and Jeff and who's, Dwayne, we'll get with them and we'll look all this over, and Eric is in the mechanical automotive business. We'll look at this thing real close and see what we can work out before we make any changes appreciably. And we're doing real good. I do want to, there's a lot. All right, let me mention a few things to you now I think you ought to know about now. We've got our new screen in for our water sewer treatment plant. It was unloaded a day or two ago out of the treatment plant. It will begin to go in the next few days. We've got the inside of one half of our wastewater treatment plant almost in new condition, except for one big problem. During the 4th of July weekend, now I understand we're only going to be off the 4th, which is on Tuesday. We're going to be here Monday. But sometimes Friday evening or Saturday, just before the 4th, Friday or Saturday and Sunday and Monday, which will begin, and the 4th is Tuesday, we're going to open the valves and we're going to dump that whole treatment plant and empty it. One side is already empty, we're fixing to put it to the other side, and the clarifier in the center. The whole business will be down, and all of the sewer of Hazelhurst will not go into that treatment plant. We've been pumping those lagoons and old oxidation ponds down. We've had 2 pumps running day and night as we can keep them running. We put a gauge like EPD wanted us to put it there. We've got the level of that thing down to 2 foot and about 6 or 7, 8 inches somewhere. We're down to that point, and according to me, and according to Bland, and according to Opie, we've got that thing down far enough that all of the city sewer can not even go in that plant, run out those lagoons for 3 weeks. We say even if we have a pretty good rain, we can close that plant down. When we close it down, the first thing we're going to do is get into the new section in there. It's all nice and clean. And that big 30-inch pipe that goes through the floor, down under the floor, and over in the clarifier is full of junk. And it's all, we got to just about auger it out. But we've bought some new tools. We tried to get a big truck in here that's going to charge us $700 an hour. Or I forget, it was going to beat anything you've ever heard in your life. And then we trying to get them. We've got to do 2 sides, and we can't do it all at one time. And they will have to make another trip. In other words, it was almost unbearable. And you know how stingy I am. So me, Bland, and I, we've got 2 2,000 PSI machines. We're going to set one up with that 2,000 pound with a new auger head going in that pipe. We're going to set the other one up in suction of anything that we get loose, sucking it out of that plant. And we are going to try, we're going to open that pipe.
You're gonna get it.
I don't know.
One's a 2,000, one's a 3,000.
One's a 3,000. We're going to put the 3,000 spin in the new water hall. Well, at any rate, we've got a plan to open that thing up. And we're going to do it in-house and get that thing in good shape. I don't know what all we're going to run into. Every day's a new wrinkle out there. But that plant, when we get that done, we're going to turn our, during the time that that's down and we work in there, the new screen will be put in. and wired. And then when we turn the sewer from the city of Hazlehurst, coming through that big pipe that runs out there through the golf course, if any of y'all have ever been out there, all the sewer from Hazlehurst goes through there and goes into that plant. It's gonna be running through a new $100,000 screen that we bought for $55,000. We just got lucky in being at the right place at the right time. But we'll have that thing installed, and so forevermore, I won't get into all naming it all, the kind of stuff that we're dealing with going into that plant and having to handle will not be dealt with anymore. The area where we're installing the screen, we've got to pour a slab probably about as big as that floor you've got out there. Because to empty, all this foreign material we're taking out now goes immediately to a dumpster and goes out, and it doesn't go through all of our system. That material's got to be handled, and we can't be handling it out there in the mud. So we're gonna have a right sizable slab of concrete that's gotta be poured. But that thing in EPD, by the way, I called it. It's unusual to call EPD. But I called Bruce and Bill and Beth and invited them to Hazlehurst and brought them here and carried them all through what we've done. Carried them out to look at the lagoons and some other things, and we had a good day with those people. And they're very pleased with what we're doing, and they were very complimentary. So that's an update on what's going to be transpiring now through the 4th of July and the next couple of weeks after then. And y'all hope to hell that Glenn and I are successful in opening that pipe. It's not going to be easy, I can tell you. And we don't have just one of those big pipes with the clarifier. We got on the other side empty, and it's filthy and dirty. And we've got to go over there and do the same thing. And I've already got Kevin Seagraves with Hospital them. Has notified them of our installation of our screen, and we're tentatively got the approval for the entrance to do this work for the other side. I'm not going to cut it initially. If we get down, and I think that we can pump that mess out, I'm going to try to, I'm going to cut every penny I can in cost. But I'm thinking to get in there and do what we got to do. Most likely, there's going to be a door cut on the other side. We do have approval from EPD to do it. But at any rate, that's an update out there. The airport contract will be signed. Cody, when are we supposed to sign the contract?
I got an email today saying it should be ready by the end of the month. Or they
But
said
supposed-
in the next couple of weeks.
Just
I don't have a date.
Well, maybe you do.
No, he did not give me a tentative date.
But what did he tell you?
He said that hopefully by the end, he was thinking possibly by Friday, but maybe one day next week we would have it. That's what Mr. Griffith told
We've
me.
also got an additional $200,000 from what Ms. Comer promised me. We've even come up with some since then, and then here in the last few days, she's added another 200 and how many thousand do we say? Roughly 200,000 more state money in this contract, which reduces the local input. So we are all, I hope y'all are, we're thrilled to death that we fixed to put a taxiway on our airport at very little expense to the citizens of Hazlehurst. That's the airport. What else we got going, gentlemen? We've got a fire truck, a ladder truck being built. We've sent the check off of that, got that loan finished, and that will be liquidated by SPLOST money over the next few years. And I'm sure Chief Wasson is pleased with that. Gentlemen, y'all got anything else y'all would add, or any questions?
Mayor, let me remind the council as well as yourself, we will be going for training to the GMA convention, leaving on the 23rd. You have classes that Friday afternoon. You have your packets in my office with your hotel information in there. Don't be surprised at how thick some of your packets are, but some of you have classes Friday, some of you have them Sunday, some have Monday, some have Tuesday. So please get with me. Your envelopes, everything are in my office.
Any further comments from the commissioners?
Hey, just to bring this up while we're here and everything, we see all the time. You had talked about possibly one-time increase in the fuel price.
Right.
airport. If that's something we need to take and look at and address and do it in the next work session or whatever else, I mean, is it something we need to do now? Is it something, I'm just asking.
Okay, let me tell you what the policy is supposed to be now, and I hope this is satisfactory because Cody and I worked on it. We sell it, as you know, we've got a busy airport out there. We're busier than Douglas, Vidalia, and Baxley, and we sell a lot more fuel than they do. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sold out there. The way that we work this is that if they want to get in a gas war, we're to mark our fuel cost up at least. It costs, if they come in there and buy fuel from us, it's about, and we need to look at this, it's costing about 15 cents a gallon to handle a credit card out there on gas. They're just eating us alive up there with credit card charges. But we got to cover about 15 cents and at least 10 cents a gallon on evaporation. So we're not to sell any fuel out there for less than 25 cents above what we pay for it. That's the minimum. Then as he checks with the local airports, he's to stay within, try to stay 5 cents below them and just keep selling fuel. And in some cases, I believe you're telling me now that it's about, we're making about 50 cents a gallon.
That's right.
So-
We're making roughly on avgas is anywhere from 40 to 50 cents a gallon, and on jet fuel is roughly 90 cents.
But the price will fluctuate depending upon what the market does. He's just not to get down below 25 cents above what it costs us, because it costs us that much to pump it out of the tank.
Just put it out.
Is that satisfactory? Anybody got any suggestions? We've opened for suggestions. This is our business. Mr. Johnson?
Don't move, let's go home.
Do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Blood. All in favor, say aye.
I'm now hoping to crack the
It's got good.
money.